good afternoon, good morning, or good evening, whatever the case may be at the time you're listening to this. World at War, World War II, Lesson 5. Of course, the first thing you're going to notice is there is no chapter number up there. And that's because we're going to be doing something a little bit different this week. We're not going to read a chapter. I've got a series of YouTubes that I would like for you all to view. For two reasons. Number one, so many of you are young enough that you have no idea what World War II was about other than what you've seen in movies or read about. The Gulf War seemed like a long time ago to you. You need to get into the mood to understand the emotions and the feelings of what was going on in the 1940s to be able to appreciate even more the contributions of the African American. The first video I want you to watch is a little short one. It's only 3 minutes and 9 seconds long, and it's called basically How We Got Into the War. It just explains what's going on in the three major nations and why we get involved. Just a little background. The second video is a little bit longer. It's 11 minutes and 3/10 of a second, and quite frankly, as I state on the slide, it's a propaganda film produced by the United States government in early 1945. It doesn't deal per se with the African Americans. It just gives you an example of what's going on. And the main reason I want you to watch this is because it not only has American film footage, it shows captured German film footage of a particular battle. And it's talking about the Battle of the Bulge, which took place in December of 1944 when the Germans started pushing the American lines back so much. It's quite intriguing to see the Germans' point of view and hear them explain why the Germans took all these films. It's very emotional, and you will see some hard pictures. You're going to see dead American soldiers. And it's one of the first times that the American public was ever allowed to see a dead American during the war. The idea being that if we saw a dead American, we would lose support for the war. But this is a rather hard lesson to learn. And of course, at the very end, it tells you if you're working for the government in a war job to keep on going, that type thing. The third one is another short one. It's 4 minutes and 6/10. And now we're getting into the color of it, where it's about black soldiers in the war, and you get to see the discrimination and the racial prejudice and the harassment that goes on. And it's very real because it's actual film footage. Now, after you have viewed those three, I would strongly suggest that you perhaps take a little break and have a Pepsi or a cup of coffee or walk around somewhere and do something before you watch the last one, because the last one's quite lengthy. It's 28 minutes long. And if you have seen the movie that's out, Red Tails, you'll be familiar with a lot of this, but this is interviewing some actual Red Tail pilots, or the Tuskegee Ariman pilots, and seeing some film footage of the actual battles they were in, and learning the story of how it got started and why, and the problems, people trying to keep them from it, and having to have congressional hearings to prove that the black man was capable of doing these things. I would also suggest that you take some notes, because there will be a couple of questions from this particular video. Now, altogether, with all four of the videos, it comes to 47 minutes, which is about the length of most of my lectures, so we're not losing any time. And then you'll have to, of course, answer the questions at the end of the lesson and on the quiz. So you're not going to be losing anything. And so when we get ready to go into next week or the next lesson, you will have a background and a feeling for what World War II was like. Now, since I have no slides per se to show you, I just have a couple of quick things. Show you one of my very favorite images. The United States of America flag. There's just something about seeing it wave in the air. It just kind of makes you want to stand a little taller. But remember, folks, it is a symbol only. It's not sacred. So when someone burns a flag, they're doing it to get you irritated, to get you mad, to get a reaction. So don't show your reaction. And it's no fun to do something if you don't get a response. Respect the flag. But remember, like I say, it's nothing sacred. The picture on the left, of course, is the bombers that we used to bomb so much in Japan as well as in Germany. That's a beautiful picture with the clouds like that. The one on the right, of course, is young men training to go to war, and I didn't realize it when I posted it, but if you notice the color of the fatigues, it's kind of a desert type, which was not in use during World War II. They had all khaki green. So I apologize for not paying more careful attention. But the next lesson, we will get into the information in the text, which is chapter 18. Plus, I have some additional World War II information to give you. But for now, just begin watching your YouTube presentations, please, in the order that they're presented. Then complete your quiz and your long answer questions. And enjoy the fact you don't have to read a chapter. You just have to look today.